Only took 4 attempts, but we're live. That's nice. Well, let's see. Nobody in the chat room yet. That usually solves itself in a minute or two after I click the live button. Anyone who's watching the stream here after the live part, of course, welcome. Sorry you missed the live part, but hopefully you'll watch the replay. Usually goes about an hour or so, and then do it again next week. Let's see. Oh, we got a few. Oh, we got 3 already. Let's see. NASCAR Ball is returned. I see, and he's telling me that IROC is back. IROC, in case most of you don't know, is an old racing series called International Race of Champions, or IROC. The idea being that there will be cars built to be as equal as possible. Same engine, same chassis, same tires, same everything. The only difference is the driver. And then you bring drivers from various disciplines, NASCAR, IndyCar, road racing, et cetera, et cetera. You throw them all on a track and see who's the best. So how is IROC back? Tell me about that, Ball. I haven't heard about that. My buddy Libby, a.k.a. LC, is here. Let's see. She says, hey, B. I shudder to think what B is, but okay. You're up at 2 in the morning. Yeah, LC, or Libby, is Australian, and she is, well, I guess that would be 10 hours ahead of me here on the east coast of the United States. So she stayed up to 2 in the morning. Why would you do that? Am I worth staying up to 2 in the morning? Okay. Ken Spear, as usual, is checking in from Pittsburgh, and my friend Bobby Legs is here. Bobby Legs, whose YouTube channel is growing very quickly, and looks good too. He's mastered the use of the headset. I have not. I just use the camera. I use the microphone built into my iMac, and there you go. Libby says she couldn't sleep, so rather than do something productive at 2 in the morning, she comes here. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. My good friend Bob the Barner is here. Yes, it is. Yes, this is. I bought this shirt. Let's see. Remember when Bob and NASCAR Ball know who Slim Mosley is? He designed my logo for my channel, which I appreciate, which is now appearing on all my videos. He also made me this shirt. Basically took the Lou2 logo, made it orange, blue and orange, and stuck a Gator logo on it, just so I could tweak them both. Being that Slim and Lou are both not big fans of Florida Gators, I thought this would tweak them both, and it did too. But hey, I paid the money. It's my shirt. You know, my shirt, my rules. Let's see. Libby wants to know what's productive that can be done at 2 in the morning. Nothing. Nothing really. Let's see. The Bet's here. How you doing, the Bet? Good to see you here. Ball, NASCAR Ball says, yeah, oh, that's what the IROC is going to be. So that's SRX. I remember reading about that yesterday. Tony Stewart, Ray Evingham are starting up a new racing series called SRX, Superstar Racing Experience. Of course, using the X for experience. 6 races, summer of next year, 2021 on CBS. Toll Car Field. Yeah, that sounds like the IROC series, basically. They're spec cars, spec engine, spec chassis, all that, and you just plug drivers from different disciplines in and see see who's the best, and hopefully they won't be pulling all the PC woke bullshit that NASCAR is pulling recently. That's such fun to deal with. Loom Room is here. How you doing, sir? Greetings from Scotland, he says. Good to have you here. You must be dinner time up in Scotland by now. So thanks for getting late in the day. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. The Bet wants to know what a good starter budget watch would be. Well, what's your budget? You got to tell me what are you in the $200 range? Are you in the 500 and under range? You know, the bigger your budget, the more suggestions I can give you. Typically, a good starter. Are you going to start a collection, or are you just looking to get a really good all-around watch for the money? $200. Okay, for $200, can you stretch that to $250? Let me know. If you can stretch it to $250, I've got a really good suggestion for you. If you can't, I still have a good suggestion for you. And also, are you a big guy, or are you an average size guy, or are you a little guy? Because the size of I'm wearing a watch today. I'll explain this in a bit, but the diameter of the case also will dictate my answer. So if you're an average size guy, I'm 6 foot. I weigh about 195 pounds. I have a 7¼ inch wrist. So on me, a 42 millimeter diameter watch really fits really well. But on somebody who's, say, 5'7", 8, 9, weighs less and has a smaller wrist, the 42 millimeter isn't going to look good. Libby says she's a midget. Wasn't asking you, Libby, no, but you don't like watches anyway, so I know you're not going to ask about them. Ball says top drivers from all series racing: Kanaan, Scott, Dixon, Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon. Paul Tracy is not a top guy. Paul Tracy is a self-aggrandizing asshole. Dale Jr., I don't think I want to be on the same track with a guy who has head problems, concussions. But if he wants to throw his ass out there on the line again, I think that's a bad idea. He's got a family now. I think he should stay in the booth. Greg Biffle. Oh, good. I'm glad all those guys are interesting, except for Paul Tracy. Paul Tracy's worthless. He needs to sit down and shut up. He always has been worthless, and he always has needed to stay quiet. How could you hate Tony Stewart, NASCAR Ball? Tony Stewart's a great guy, and he speaks his mind. I love that. The Bet says he's a big guy. If you could stretch it to 250, maybe even closer to 225, you could probably pick up a Seiko SKX, which is a really good all-around true dive watch. It's a very tough watch, very good-looking watch. Lots of different color variations, lots of different ways you can modify the watch. If you could stretch to 299, you could get the Long Island Watch Islander series, which is, I think there's about 24 of those watches out there, all in the $299 to $325 range. If you got to stay under $200 and you like digital watches, you could probably pick up Casio G-Shock at Walmart for about $40. One of the 5600 line, an excellent watch, or even one of their Frogmen. Well, maybe not the Frogmen, but one of their, a G-Shock you could probably pick up for under $100, maybe between $40 and $100. There are different G-Shocks out there available, so take a look at those. Blue Shirt Buddha's here. How you doing, sir? How you doing? Getting ready. We're almost at hockey season there, Buddha. So I know you're as excited as I am. William Rizzo is here. Good afternoon to you too. I'm always nice to people in the chat, Libby. I'm not being miserable, Libby. Paul Tracy is a scumbag Canadian race driver who thinks way too much of himself, and he should be called out at every opportunity. Chris is here in the Watch Lounge. Really good YouTube channel. If anyone else is interested in watches, they want another voice besides mine, definitely go check out the Watch Lounge, and definitely check out Bobby Legs too. Two really good up and coming YouTube channels for watch reviews and unboxings. The bet stretcher out 230. The bet William Rizzo is right. The Orient. I always keep forgetting about the Orient Mako and Blu-ray. About $150. Those are really good all-around watches. So, yeah, I would definitely take a look at those. No, Dad, I'm not surprised that you're asking a real question. I consider all your questions real. Some are, funnier than others, but that's a real question. Let me do this for you, Ben. Let me get you a link to a watch company that is a really good place for you to look for watches, especially the Orient Mako and the Orient Ray that William was talking about. Go to this website and then search by brand, and you will find something. And Long Island Watch is a great place to deal with. I bought about a half dozen watches from them, and they are super reliable and usually turn around in 3 days. From order to shipment, usually 2 to 3 days before you get it, and Mark will treat you right. Sports Expert 101's here. What's up, man? I appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. Where are we now? Good, Ken. I appreciate you subbing up my friends Bobby and Chris, definitely. Chris, we don't have any specific subjects here, man. I answer the questions as they appear on the chat. I never really have any set agenda. I tried to do that in the beginning, set agendas or whatever, and that fell apart within minutes. So I just go with whatever they throw at me. NASCAR Bell says Tony acted like a 2-year-old throwing temper tantrums, throwing his helmet at Kenseth, and talking down to them. I'm sorry, Ball. I found both of I know exactly what both of the incidences you're talking about. I found they were both funny, especially the talking down to Darrell Waltrip, who had it coming to him. I mean, he's just sitting there trying to be a pseudo shitpot stirring journalist, and Tony called him out on it. I thought that was great, but that's just me. I appreciate those kind of people. No fucks given kind of people. Libby says she has a question. If you could pick any watch in the world to buy, money no object, what would it be? Well, actually, that's fairly easy. Believe it or not, but there's going to be 2 watches to that. And one of them is going to be a Rolex Daytona. It's a specific one. It's a full platinum case and platinum bracelet. Ice blue dial with the chocolate brown bezel. It's beautiful. It has excellent weight to it. It's functional, and it's an absolutely gorgeous watch. And the other one would be a Patek Philippe perpetual moon phase chronograph. Also in either, I would prefer the one in platinum. So if money no object, I'll take both of those. Thank you. And I'll sell off most of my other collection. Those are the 2 watches. The only 2 watches I would need I would keep some others in my collection now, but I would vacate a lot of my watch collection to own those two. The bet, no, not a problem to give advice. I hope it helps you out. Let me know if you go ahead. Chris says Boss stocks are great on a budget, and you're right about Long Island Watch. Great place to buy from. Yeah, Boss stocks are great watches. They're just a bit. Well, the bet says he has a pretty good sized wrist, so he could probably handle the Boss stocks. But Boss stocks are definitely what you would call a Marmite watch. You either love them or you hate them. Let's see. Desire 68 is here. How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Rattlehead's here. Winner of the Uncle Lou talent contest. Most talented man on the internet. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate that. A fellow Gator, thank God. NASCAR Ball is telling me that Tony Stewart wasn't half as good as Darrell Waltrip. No. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, sir. I'm not doing it. They both were good in their time, but one better than the other. I'm not going. You're not going to drag me down that hole. I'm not going to do it. Chris says he's wearing a Squale 1521. And that's the one that you rebought, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. Chris actually had a 1521 series Squale in that beautiful azul blue, sold it, and had the immediate seller's remorse, which I understand fully now since I'm trying to buy back my Zelos ZX3 that I stupidly sold. And yeah, seller's remorse is a bitch. Let's see. I want to first, before I continue with the people commenting, I appreciate all the thumbs ups. Please click the like button, click the thumbs up button. It does help. Also, the super chat function is available if you feel the desire to do so. You don't have to, of course, but I'm just mentioning it in passing. Well, more than passing, it helps, but not necessary. But definitely the thumbs up button would really be helpful. So if you haven't already clicked the thumbs up button, please don't forget to do it at some point. Appreciate it. Libby is laughing. That's usually a scary sign. Libby, you don't know a damn thing about NASCAR, so anything that you agree or disagree with about NASCAR is pointless. Sorry. By the way, congratulations on your new car. It's very cute. Not something we see over here in the States, but if it makes you happy, I'm glad you have it. Chris, did you rebuy that one from the guy you sold it to, or you just bought another one? The bet says not a big fan of chunky watches. Well, then definitely stay away from the dive watches, bet, because most dive watches are pretty chunky. But the Orient Mako, or is it the? I think the Blu-ray is a dressier watch, so it would be thinner. So you might want to look more into the dressier watches than the sport watches if you're not a big fan of chunk. I would give you advice in that direction. Look at Long Island Watch though. Another one you might want to look at. Now that I think about it, is the Seagull. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me get on the site. Hang on a minute. Seagull. Give me a second. Where's the Seagull? There it is. Now the downside to this watch, it's out of your budget, unfortunately. And you see, the downside to that watch is it's mechanical, which means it doesn't self-wind and it's not a quartz watch. But the Seagull chronograph is really a nice watch. Unfortunately, it's about $329, but it really is a nice chronograph, dressier watch. It's not very thick, about 13 millimeter thick, which is about average. You're just going to have to go to the Long Island watch site and poke around. I mean, here, let me do one. Let me do one more for you, just to let me look at Orient real quick. Yeah, they have a second generation automatic rose gold tone case, 159. It's on sale. So, yeah, you're just going to have to poke around on the site, Ben. You know, watches are a very subjective, thing. They're, by taste. So you're just going to have to get on that site, spend 15, 20, 30 minutes poking around, see what you like, really. Let's see. Elsie's saying she's cute, like the car is cute, she's cute too. Chris did buy back the watch from the guy who sold it to. That's pretty good. Usually they won't part with them. Libby's saying her little Tinker Toy Aussie car is better than a Mustang. That remark could put you in timeout, so you're treading on thin ice here. NASCAR Ball says the All-Star race, which is happening tonight, is going to be great. I hope so. I always look forward to the All-Star race. They're usually a lot of fun to watch, especially when you don't have anything to lose. Yeah, Chris, the Seiko 5, 40 millimeter, 20 millimeter lug, but the bet's saying that he's, a bigger guy like you and I, so a 40 millimeter watch might not look good with him. And he really wants to stay under 250 or even under 200 if possible. Wilkie is here. What's up, sir? I appreciate you stopping by. Jorge Rodriguez is here. Welcome, sir. I appreciate it. Why did I sell my Flightmaster? I wasn't wearing it, quite honestly. Yeah, I was in a period where I wanted to reduce a bit on the size of my collection, which of course I bought more watches anyway. I'm trying not to go above 60 watches. I'm really, really trying not to. I would like to get that down. Pardon me. I would like to get that down to 50, but I find that number to be almost impossible to do. And there are a couple of reasons for that, but I don't want to go into them. But the Flightmaster, I wasn't wearing it. And if I wanted a busy chronograph flight pilot's watch, I had my Breitling Navitimer, and I felt like the Seiko Flighty was redundant once I picked up once I picked up my Navitimer. So one of them had to go, and since the Navitimer was a Grail watch and the Flighty wasn't, that was sort of an easy choice. So she went away. Somebody's very happy with that watch. I'm happy that they're happy, and I'm happy with the money that I banked away to put towards other things. Yes, Libby, I'm a bully. Yeah, it's my channel. I can be a bully on my channel. And if you're going to say that your little POS, not POS, not a piece of shit, but if your little Tinker Toy is better than my Mustang, yeah, bully. Yes, Chris, I don't want to get above 60, even though I am above 60. A little bit. I got a couple for sale. Actually, Jorge, I have 61, 2. I got to get that to 60 or less, because I got to get that well under 60 because I know I know I'm buying at least 2 watches in the near future. I've got one which is supposed to ship next month. And then I sort of just kind of, well, I don't want to use the word inherited because the guy who owned it didn't die, but this one was a crazy watch. I had to do a lot of research to find out who made this. It doesn't have any branding on it. I actually had to put a message out on the Urban Gentry Facebook group to find out if anybody had ever seen a watch like this before. It turns out somebody had, and it is an Ochs und Junior. OCHS und UND Junior. It's Swiss. It's made. It was a splintered off company from a bunch of folks that used to work for Ulysses Nardine. And this was my dad's watch, and he didn't wear it anymore. So he said, "You play with it for a while. We'll just swap it back and forth." So we've been doing that a lot lately. My father and I have been swapping watches back and forth. So that's a lot of fun. He's got a lot of great watches, but some of them scare the bejesus out of me. Yeah, sometimes you do end up doing. I have never bought back a watch that I sold until I started hunting for a Zelos ZX3, the chronograph with the meteorite face. I sold that one off, and I regret it, so I'm looking to buy one back. So I'm on the hunt. Let's see. What kind of emoji is it? So Libby is now crying. Okay. Sorry. Love you, Libby, but you made fun of my Saleen, so can't do that. Let's see. Well, yeah, Desire. John, I'm sorry. All right, I'll show that. I don't know if I'm going to do a sales video because right now I'm only selling one watch. I only have one watch for sale, and it's a Seiko 6139 6020 Doctor's chronograph. I mean, I made a video of it, when I bought it. So I guess that could be the sales video too. But I don't have enough watches right now for a sales video like you've done. I mean, I know you've done that, and I probably should gather up a bunch of watches and just make it a sale video, like Rob does, our friend Random Rob does for Sunday Fun Day. Maybe I had to do one on call it Maniac Monday or For Sale Friday or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. No, I haven't gotten. No, Chris, I haven't gotten banned from the Urban Gentry watch group on Facebook. But then again, I don't post anything really controversial on there. So I save all my controversial stuff for my own Facebook page or for the sports pages. So no, I haven't gotten kicked off yet, but I'm sure it's a matter of time. The bet says, "Hey, Saleen, 2015. What happened in 2015 other than, I don't remember. It's got to be something to do with the Florida Gators, but I can't remember what it was. Probably Alabama beat us in the SEC title game or something. I'm guessing that's what, because I think we beat Georgia. And usually my two biggest troll groups are Georgia fans or Alabama fans. So all the other ones we handle pretty well. Libby's shooting a bird at me. Love you too. William Rizzo, I just picked up an Omega Aquaterra. I am so envious. I have a couple of Omega myself. I love them. Um, my Grail watch right now, my current Grail, the one I'm pursuing, is the Omega Speedmaster from the moon to Mars. It's gorgeous. If you Google that picture and see what I'm talking about, but that's the watch that I'm aiming for next. Probably going to be in 2021 before I can afford to do that watch, but that's my next Grail is the Omega Speedmaster from the moon to Mars. Gorgeous watch. Now let's see. All right. Hang on, Libby. All my emojis are gone, so never mind. I love you too, Libby. You're a good kid. The bet says 215 was better than 2016. With respect to what? The Alabama game? I mean, yes, we got beat by Alabama in 2015 and 2016 in the SEC title game. So, okay, if that's where you're going, go ahead. Chris, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Floridian is here. Floridian is my friend Floridian from Chicago, I think. Chicago? What's up, sir? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So, no, you don't have to stop, Bet. You just have to give me context. I mean, are you talking about the Alabama games? Or, I mean, if you're going to troll, go ahead. I mean, I can take it. I'm a big boy, you know. But you know, you gotta eventually reveal if the person you're trolling at doesn't know what you're talking about, you got to help them along a little bit. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Alabama games, but if I'm not sure, you've got to kind of relieve the tension. Let's see. Somebody named F, who I don't recognize, but thank you for stopping by. Do I have any experience with Deep Blue? No. My thoughts on Deep Blue are basically the thoughts that that other people have, and other people seem to be very, very happy with their Deep Blue watches. I would love to be able to get my hands on one at some time, so I could see what all the hype is about, what all the good feelings are about. So all I know is there are a lot of other people whose opinions I value think that Deep Blue is a hell of a watch company, and I'll go with that, you know, until I get to experience one for myself, and I can say that it's crap or it's really as good as everyone says. I'm just going to go with everyone else that I trust says it's a good watch, so I'll go with that. Yes, 8900 movement on the Omega. Right, got it. Floridian says he was just down here in Florida and then just returned. I hope you enjoy the humidity. Very humid right now around here. We're not getting a lot of rain, which doesn't help. The bet says yes, of course, he's talking about the Alabama games. You know, I was just making sure. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. F says they seem like decent value. I agree, F. The Deep Blues do seem to be excellent value for money. So, and F, right there below your comment, my friend John, Desire68 says he has a Blue Tech Abyss 500, and it's an amazing chunk of a dive watch. So he seems to be very happy. Floridian wants to know what is the best Zelos model. Jeez. Oh, you're going to bed, Libby? You know, get some sleep. We'll talk later, I'm sure. Thanks for stopping by, though. I appreciate it. I know it's late for you, so go get some sleep. Relax. See you later. Floridian, I mean, Zelos has a bunch of different. I mean, they have the really chunky divers like the Hammerhead and the Abyss. They have the more traditional looking thinner divers like the swordfish and the mako. They have the great white, which is sort of right in the middle between chunky and not so chunky. They have the chronograph and the ZX line. They have the pilot's watch with the Sky Raider. I love them all, but I got to tell you, my personal favorite Zelos of all the ones I own happens to be from the ZX line, the chronograph. So, geez, I don't know what the best Zelos model is. They're all fantastic watches. For me, they all scratch a different itch. I mean, the new Thresher that they just came out with is a fantastic watch. I mean, it combines a GMT function and a dive watch. So, I mean, it's like the best of both worlds. I mean, it's a great all-arounder, and it's constructed beautifully. I mean, I have a green one. My father's blue one's going to show up tomorrow. He can't wait for that. The Swordfish seems to be the most popular Zelos out there. I mean, it has the biggest variety of materials and colors and everything, and they're about to come out with the 40 millimeter Swordfish and the new titanium 42 millimeter Swordfish, of which I am absolutely buying a Damascus one. I guarantee you I'll be the first order in, or maybe top 5. But for me, I love my ZX. I mean, I have 5 of them and hope to have 6 real soon. I have them written down here: ZX1, ZX5, ZX7, ZX8, and my one of one ZX Spitfire. So I love my ZXs. So if you gotta hold my feet to the fire and make me pick one line, I'm gonna pick the ZX line. With the Swordfish a close second, very close second. Yeah, William, the Swordfish makes an excellent daily wear watch. It really does. I'm down to 2 Swordfish right now. I have a blue. They're both first gens. I sold my second gen forged carbon because I just wasn't wearing it. I wasn't really bonding with it very nice. Did I say John? I'm sorry about that, Desire. I really am. Jesus, not thinking straight. I have on the Swordfish. I have the first generation in blue, and I also have the first generation in aquamarine. They're both really nice watches, although I should wear them more than I do. But they're both great looking watches, and I really like. I know it's Mike. Don't listen to me, Mike. You know, I'm not all there sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's see. 42 millimeter is also my sweet spot on watches too. I have bigger ones, of course. 42 to 43 millimeter is where most of my watches are. How many Zeloses do I have in total? 20? Yeah, 20. I have one on order. That's a Mako with a sodalite dial, which is being sold through a third party. And I have 2 more that I'm going to buy as soon as they're released. I'll buy one of the dress watches, and I'll definitely buy one of the titanium swordfishes. So by the end of the year, I should be around 23 or 24 at least. I'm looking also to buy a ZX3 with the meteorite face. So I may be up around 25 by the end of the year. You never know. Certainly going to be 23 by the end of the year, but right now 20. Oh, Ballard is here. Ballard Sports Media. How you doing, man? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. My parents, my parents are fine. My mom is fully past all of her stuff right now, so she's fine. My father will be seeing a different eye doctor this week, and we'll see where we go from there. Both of them are safe. Both of them are free of the COVID, or as I like to now refer to it as the Wuhan Red Death. And we're just, one day at a time, baby, one day at a time. Jorge wants to know what my thoughts are on Vaer, Vaer. Never heard of him. Honestly, I've never heard of him. Wilkie wants to know how many Timexes I have. 0. I haven't found a Timex that I like. Well, there's one that was okay. The Q series, the new Q series that they came out with about a year ago with the Pepsi, the red and blue style dial. But I didn't like it enough to drop the money for it, so not gonna. Don't see a Timex that I like out there. Ballard says just saw the second Psych film on Peacock and loved it. I'm not sure what Peacock is. I guess that's a streaming service of some kind, but I'm not sure about the second Psych film. I didn't know there was a first Psych film, but okay. Floridian thinks I should become an AD. I'm guessing for Zelos. No, Elson doesn't need any ADs. Trust me, he's doing fine by himself. Pete Stone is here. Don't worry about it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. NASCAR Ball. Who are my top 5 best NASCAR drivers of all time? That's a toughie. Well, Kyle Busch, first of all. He is the best of all time. I don't care what anyone says about this. Somebody they used to refer to as the king. The king? King of what? Fat. Let's see. I have to put Tony Stewart in there. I have to put Jimmy Johnson in there. I have to put Dale Sr. in there. I have to put Jeff Gordon in there. And Bill Elliott. Definitely those guys are the tops. But Kyle Busch is definitely in that conversation as the best of all time. William says the Aquaterra is 41 millimeters. Yeah, it's a really good size right there. 41, 42, 43 for me is an excellent size. Let's see the bet. That's good to hear. He's talking about my parents. It's good to hear. And they will remain safe. I'm making sure that they remain safe by doing a lot of stuff outside the house for them. So I'm doing my best. New free streaming service, says Ballard. And Floridian follows that up with streaming for NBC, he believes. So, okay. I'll look into it, but generally the network TV stuff doesn't have any appeal for me. I almost watch no TV anymore. I mean, I have this TV behind me. When I do turn it on, it goes on to YouTube TV, and I don't turn it on very often. Now, when college football season starts up, I'll definitely be using the TV a lot more. But when in this time period, I'm using YouTube mostly, or reading a lot of books. Wilkie says, got the wrong Kyle. It's Kyle Petty. Ugh. Oh, Wilkie, you want to know how close I am to. I mean, I've got my hand on the mouse right now, and I'm so close to clicking the timeout command for that one. So stop it. Just stop it. Let's see. I guess NASCAR's top 5 are Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, Dale Sr., Jimmy Johnson, and I'm guessing Richard Petty. So we agree on three of them. I don't know that Darrell Waltrip shouldn't be in that conversation. He certainly should be, but I'm not willing to give it to Richard Petty because of who he won against. I mean, most of his wins were against Bubba and county fairs on third mile dirt tracks, racing stuff they built in their barn while he's racing factory equipment. So, I can't give it to him. I just can't. William says his wife is a Kyle Busch fan. Well, she has excellent taste, sir. F agrees with me. Most TV is turned into garbage. I absolutely agree with that. NASCAR ball, if you say that one more time that Kyle Petty is the man, I'm going to time you out. Wilkie, if you say that one more time, I'm timing you out. Kyle Petty is the GOAT of being a jackass and the worst commentator in the history of NASCAR TV. Floridian, I appreciate you stopping by. Don't work too hard. Thanks for coming and supporting me on this. I appreciate it. Got 17 thumbs up. I appreciate all that, guys. I do. Definitely, if you haven't already clicked the thumbs up button, I definitely appreciate it if you would. It does help the channel out. The super chat function is available if you are moved to do so. Of course, you don't have to, but I just mentioned it for the hell of it. It helps, but it's not necessary. Let's see. I'm trying to see if that's your second offense. The mellow yellow car for Kyle Petty was awesome. No, it wasn't. William, Jeff Gordon is a lousy commentator. Well, Jeff Gordon isn't bad compared to Kyle Petty, who stumbles all over himself in his silly ponytail all the time. So Jeff Gordon may not be the most polished commentator in the world, but he's better than Kyle Petty. Wilkie wants to know if I'm retired. Technically, no. No, I work for my father, and I'm going to leave it at that. But no, I'm not retired. I just have the ability to pretty much do when I do what I do, I can do it at my own time and my own schedule. But no, I'm not. I'm too young to retire. Let's see. NASCAR Wall says Jeff Gordon is a great commentator, not the most entertaining, but he knows his stuff and is great at explaining things. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary of what Jeff Gordon is. He's not entertaining, but he has great knowledge, and that sort of balances the less than entertaining part out. And screen keeps flickering. But like I said, Jeff Gordon isn't the worst in the world at what he did. But who did an excellent job was DW. Exactly, NASCAR. Well, Darrell Waltrip was very entertaining, and he got very excited and brought a lot to the commentary table. And I enjoyed his commentary, and I miss it. Wilkie says he can retire at 49 with full benefits. Very cool. Maybe you should do that. Retire at 49 and then get your full benefits package, and then go find something that you want to do instead of what you have to do. But that's just one man's opinion. F says he's new here, so what are the details on my Saleen? Well, I can tell you a few things about it, but on my channel, if you want, there's about a 30-minute walk-around video of the car, inside, outside, engine, all the details of what the car is, how it came about, what I've done to it, etc. The highlights are it's a 2000 authentic Saleen, and I can authenticate it. I've had it since new, so I've had it over 20 years. It's currently making about 525 horse to the wheels, about 500 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels. I don't race it anymore. I don't track it anymore. It's not a daily driver anymore. And it's highly modified, but still very streetable car. And it still makes me smile every time I walk into the garage and see it. So, yeah, please check the video out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's really, it's a nice car. It's definitely not a trailer queen. It's definitely not a garage queen. It's definitely been driven. It's got about 112,000 miles on it now. Although not on the engine, but on the body. Got about 35,000 on the body, on the engine. Probably about 20 on the transmission. NASCAR Wall says Fox is greater than NBC. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, sir. NBC's coverage of NASCAR is an obscenity. Wookie says, depending on or if I ever get the transfer, if I don't get the transfer, I'll retire 7 weeks after I'm eligible. Okay. Obviously, you thought this out. You thought ahead on this one. F says he has a 93 GT in storage with 38,000 miles on it. So that's the last of the Fox bodies. Damn. 38,000 miles on a almost 30-year-old car. Do you take it out every once in a while? I mean, you got to keep that. You got to keep the car lubricated. You got to keep the parts moving. You got to keep the seals fresh. If the seals dry out and rot out, the car's going to leak like a sieve. Ask me how I know. But a 93 GT with 38,000 miles on it, that's going to be a treasure for somebody someday if you ever decide to move it along. But it's also going to make a great toy for you as long as you keep it. But definitely keep it going. Take it out once in a while and exercise it. Let's see. Wilkie says, can't imagine still going that 2-hour drive to and from work every day. Damn. That's a hell of a commute. You live in Atlanta? My commute in Atlanta every day was an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes, and that was a 25-mile drive. Just because the sheer volume in Atlanta was just murder. It's been a few years since you've had it out. I mean, it's just one man's opinion, F, but, cars are not meant to sit. The tires flat spot, the struts and the shocks can rust. The seals in the engine can dry out if they don't have fluid circulating near them, and the car can leak from a dozen different points. Rats and mice can get into the wiring and just wreak absolute havoc. I don't know. It's your car, man. You do you. You wish it was a 69 fastback. Man, I wish I'm sure Mustang owner in the world wants a 69 fastback. That's for sure. Let's see. Ken Spears says NBC, nothing before commercials. Ain't that the truth? NASCAR Ball says Rick Allen and Steve Letarte are the two worst common sports announcers I've ever listened to. JL Jr. and Jeff Burton are okay. He does like Kyle Petty and Dale Jarrett. I like Dale Jarrett. I think Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. do a pretty damn good job, but I agree. Rick Allen and Steve Letarte, if there were a viable radio alternative to listening to NASCAR races, I'd use that. But when you listen to NASCAR races on MRN or whatever, you get that idiot Moody as one of the commentators. And he's the worst of them all. I don't think I've ever heard him say a positive word about anything in NASCAR, and he makes a living on NASCAR. So Moody is the worst. He's the reason I stopped listening to NASCAR on Sirius XM. Wilkie said, your commute is a 143-mile round trip, lots of road work and mountains on the back roads. Yeah, well, yeah, I can see it taking 2 hours then. F says he does fire the car up from time to time, but he needs to go over and put it on the road again. Yeah, I think you should. I mean, not just for the entertainment factor, but for the factor that, you know, the next guy who buys it, if you ever put it up for sale, you know, the next guy who buys it would probably want to know that the car is roadworthy. I mean, some guys want to buy a time capsule. I mean, I know there's in Ocala, National Parts Depot. I think it's National Parts Depot. The owner of it has a collection of sub 100 mile on the odometer Mustangs in the building. That's fantastic that he has a whole bunch of Mustangs with under 100 miles on them, but you can never drive them again. You'd have to tear the engine apart and probably half the chassis apart, refurbish the whole car from top to bottom because all the seals are rotted. You know, I wouldn't want to crank an engine up with 50 miles on it. It's been sitting since 1985. Like that engine would probably either explode or leak from about half a dozen different places. Cars are not meant to sit, folks. Cars are not meant to sit. I mean, right now I'm feeling guilty because my Saleen has been sitting for 2 weeks. I just haven't had a chance to get it out on the road, and I won't have a chance to get out on the road maybe until tomorrow or Friday, maybe Saturday. But I got to get that thing out of the garage. I feel bad about that poor thing sitting there. Not to mention the fact I own the car and I have to pay for registration and insurance on it. You know, if I'm paying for those things, might as well drive the damn thing. NASCAR Ball says Dave Moody sucks. Yes, he does. He also says Mike Joy is a Hall of Fame commentator for sure. Yes, he is. God, Rick Allen and Steve Letarte. Man, just put ball gags in their mouths and stop them, please. Can't stand it. Ken Spears agrees with me. Cars are meant to be driven. Watches are meant to be worn. Yeah. I try and wear all my watches. I really, really do. But, you know, I gravitate to some more than others. But I do try and wear all the watches that I own. You know, where you got, I have too many. I admit, I'm the first to admit I have too many. I have a sickness. I need to wear my watches more, or I need to get rid of them. Wilkie wants to know, do I like any imports? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have always been a huge, huge fan of Porsche, and it is pronounced Porsche, not Porsche. People say Porsche need to be flogged. It's Porsche. I've been a big fan of Porsche since I was very young. I really like those cars. On Porsche as a supercar that you can use, as opposed to the spaghetti cars, which you know what I'm talking about, which are, you know, they're works of automotive art, to be sure. But you can't use them. The older ones were horrible driving positions, horrible, you know, gated shifters that are notchy and hard to deal with. And when their electronics did work, they didn't work well. I've owned several Japanese cars of my own. I'm a big fan of the Toyota Supra lineup. I like the. I used to be a big fan of Mercedes-Benz before their quality control went to hell. You know, if somebody handed me the keys to an imported car, my parents have been BMW buyers since the late '80s, and all the BMWs that they've had have been fantastic automobiles. They're fast, they're comfortable, they ride well. Some of them even have excellent handling and performance characteristics that belie their weight and their size. Um, but sometimes some of the BMWs I worry about because I hear horror stories about some of the higher performance ones, like the V10s that seem to eat their rod bearings for breakfast and destroy the motor system, and a lot of BMWs that fail and take the motor out with them. So right now, I'm leaning more towards American cars than imports. Fortunately, I'm not in the market for any cars right now, or I'd probably be made crazy. Uh, NASCAR Wall, who is worse, crew chief Letard or commentator Letard? Commentator Letard, because when he was a crew chief, we didn't have to listen to it. Let's see. Pepperex is here. How you doing, man? What do I think of this Omega Seamaster? And he gives me a reference number, thinking of buying one. Jesus, let me look that up real quick. Hang on, let me copy that. Is that like a Planet Ocean or something? And don't answer that. I'll hang on. Oh, that's a nice looking watch. Hang on. Okay. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's nice. So you want the black dial with the black bezel. This looks like the one I have. Hey, thank you, F. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Pepperex, that looks like the Speedmaster that I have, Seamaster that I have with the blue face and the blue bezel, the Planet Ocean. F, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Definitely. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for chatting with me. I appreciate it. You have a good rest of the day. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have an Omega Planet Ocean, and my dad has one as well with the wave dial. I have the flat dial. Fantastic watches. I mean, they keep excellent time. You almost never have to reset them. They're built beautifully. I mean, the beautiful finishes. They're built like tanks. And yeah, they're definitely worth the money. If you have the money and you're thinking of buying one, stop thinking. Buy it. You will not regret it. And even if you decide to sell it maybe 6 months or a year down the line, you will probably get your money back, or at least close. So definitely, if you're looking at that watch, get it. Absolutely. Wookie says the Supers are very nice. I actually owned a Super. I owned one of the first generation ones, a 1981 that was based off of the Celica. That was my first car ever. It metallic black and gold wheels, and it really looked like a nice car. And it was a good driving car. Got me through most of college. So I really liked it. What else said? Your dad had 914, lots of VW parts. Yeah, those cars didn't wear well. You say his was worn out when he got it. They didn't wear. They didn't. They weren't the strongest Porsche ever, but they were really fun to drive. I actually got to drive a 914 once. Um, that was a lot of fun to drive. I mean, it's basically like driving a go kart. So that's a lot of fun. Let's see. So Pepper was confirming. It is a 300. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, definitely. No problem, Peprex. If you can find one, and Omegas are actually decently priced luxury watches. You will have no trouble finding one at a good price, and they're usually treated very well by their owners. So definitely, you'll find one that you like, and it really looks good in the black. So I think that's a good pick for you. So let me know how it turns out. Well, I've been on for about an hour, guys. That's about as long as I like to go on these things. And I got some stuff I got to get done. Um, yeah, definitely got to go on to other stuff for the day. So I appreciate everyone showing up. Looks like I got 21 thumbs up. I appreciate it. I appreciate F giving me that super chat. That definitely helps me out. I'm glad I was able to help him out with with a couple of good ideas. And F, I really hope you get that 93 out of storage and start playing with it, because those are definitely nice cars for driving around in. Appreciate guys stopping by. Like NASCAR Ball was here for the whole thing. Ken Spear was here. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Wilkie, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate your support. Pepperex, I know you came in late, but I appreciate you stopping by anyway. And everyone who stopped by and made comments, Libby, and God, who else? Let's see, William, and Ballard, and Floridian. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm going to do this again next week, so don't worry. See you on the Lou streams or Red Rob streams or BBD streams or in the comment area on my videos. Thanks for the thumbs up. If you're watching this after the video is live, leave any comments, questions, or suggestions down below. And if you're new here, you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Click the bell icon next to it, so when I upload stuff or go live, you'll hear about it. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I appreciate you. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Let's save college football. Wear your masks. Later.